Welcome to Like Pigs in Space, an arts and culture podcast. I'm Aaron Mason.
And I'm Max Mason.
It's time again to have a discussion, and we keep losing Saturday afternoon because we keep traveling.
Yeah.
Unexpectedly, we keep running away.
Right.
But, this weekend, we went to Casa Grande.
Oh, okay.
Because Abe's been working out in Eloy.
Mm-hmm.
And Eloy is a little bit nowhere. And
Yeah.
it's up and coming. So there's just not a lot there, but there's a lot of stuff in Casa Grande.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't realize where the main part of Casa Grande is. And it's a lot closer to the interstate than I thought it was. And there's a lot more there than I thought it was.
Mm-hmm.
And we went thrifting.
Oh,
and
cool.
Found good stuff. And so it was very cool. So there was, so we went thrifting. And we were going because there's a Aldi there. And so it's the closest Aldi.
Oh, wasn't there a moment when we were about to live in Casa Grande, like right before we moved to South Carolina?
Oh, well, there was a time. So there's a place close to it called Maricopa.
Oh, okay.
And Maricopa built up really quick.
Mm-hmm.
And then nothing else happened. And so we were looking at, they had these 4,000 square foot huge houses.
Yeah.
That were selling for like 100,000. Which even at the time, even 20 years ago, was half of what they should have been.
Yeah.
You know, or half, like they should have been selling for 250 to 250-ish.
Mm-hmm.
But they just built all these houses and then nothing else built up around there. So
yeah.
So it's not that way anymore. Because Chandler and everything expanded down and is a lot closer.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And there's a lot more industry. There's a lot of industry going in Eloy. There's all these factories going in and stuff. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
But we were looking at these different thrift stores and we're trying to time it out. And so one of them was closing at 3. So we went to that one first. And then we went over to another one that was kind of more of a junk/antique shop.
Okay.
It was really weird. And so there's an ice cream shop that's it's cool. And then right next to us, this store, and they're related kind of because we did buy something, and the guy's like, is it a card? I'm like, yeah. And he goes, okay, well, follow me over to the ice cream shop and we'll run your card. Okay. So that was funny but it's just like, and he's got like an open yard in the back and it's just stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But nothing has prices on it. So we were like, either this is going to be really good or really bad.
Yeah.
But there was a typewriter there of a kind that I've been looking for. It's an Olympia. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And Olympias are a German brand that always on auction and everything, they just go through the roof. Like $300, $400, $500. It's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah. And we used to go on goodwill.com which is they have an auction site.
Oh,
where you can go.
Yeah.
And so it's great because you can look for everything and it's all over the place and just get stuff. But yeah, so we did that. We looked on there and every time I went to try and bid on one, I was outbid instantly. And there was like 60 to 70 to 80 bids on it. And it always went up to like $400, $500, $600. Crazy.
Yeah.
So I was like, how much? We want the typewriter. And then there's this painting over here. And he goes, well, let me see. I'll do 40 on the typewriter and 20 on the painting. And we're like, yeah, let's go. Okay. So
Before you
I didn't.
realize.
Yeah, yeah, and I did check it a little bit at work. So before, so I just put it in the car
Mhm.
and got it home. And I was looking at it. It's in great shape, but it also, instead of 26 letters, it has 29
Oh.
because
Oh.
it is the German one. And so there's two O's, two A's, and two U's
Yeah.
with umlauts over them.
Ooh.
And so it's really super cool. And it's not the QW, it's not the QWERTY.
Yeah.
It's QWERTZ.
Oh.
So it's like quartz
Quartz.
or something. Yeah. So it's different. And I'm just
Yeah.
like, this is so cool. So anyway,
Nice.
that was a fun time.
Yeah.
And so we had some good times looking at stuff. But and it was a nice big painting. That's the other thing. That's $20 usually, but it was a big painting. So not nice painted, like original,
Okay.
good stuff.
Yeah.
So we were doing that, and then I've been thinking about this topic because I don't know. I saw something about this, and so I started going. This means something to me, and so this is gonna be about something from my youth, let's say.
Okay.
And we were talking about it, but I want to start off with so this I'm just going to do the kind of guess what ties these things together. So I'm going
Okay.
to give you a list of disparate things and see if you can see if anything clicks. So
Okay.
through this, we'll start with the Flintstones. Do you
Okay.
remember that cartoon? Okay.
Yeah.
Yoko Ono,
Okay.
and by default, John Lennon.
Mm-hmm.
So retro trailer parks.
Like just the rectangle trailer
Like
parks, or like
a trailer park with retro trailers in it. So modern trailer park, but with like 1950s trailers
oh, okay.
and such.
Mm-hmm.
And really big bouffant hairdos.
Okay.
And then also AIDS
Cool.
and
Okay. Not cool.
yeah, well, and then let's say a Chrysler convertible.
Okay.
So those all tie together through one pivot point. And all of them kind of significantly, because can you think of anything that could tie all those together?
I mean, first thought is that it sounds like a kind of pink water thing.
Oh,
Sounds like he would
that could be.
draw from all those or put those all in one story.
Funny enough, that makes sense from the context, but it's not that. But it is a good guess, a very good guess, and it's just as weird.
Okay.
I mean, it's just the source is just as weird, so it fits. It's actually tied to a band. So, and this band is I'll give you some things that they're credited with.
Okay.
This band inspired John Lennon to go back to the recording studio and record his last album.
Okay.
This band made it so that REM could have a career.
Okay.
And this band is also probably got your mom interested in me.
Okay.
So
is it a new wave band or?
Yeah. They're from the late 70s into for a long through the 80s through the 90s. So they are from Athens, Georgia, and it's the B-52s.
Okay.
Have you listened to them much? Do you know much about them?
I don't know much about them, but I have listened to them a good amount. So
and some of this stuff I didn't know, and some of it I guessed at and didn't care because it's something that could have been a big deal made of it, and I didn't care because it just was the fact of it.
Yeah. Okay.
But this is I'm mostly gonna look at their first album. That's just a self-titled first album.
Okay.
But a little bit about the background. So the band members are Kate Pearson,
Mm-hmm.
Fred Schneider, Keith Strickland, Cindy Wilson, and Ricky Wilson.
Okay.
So Cindy and Ricky are brother and sister,
Hmm.
and Kate Pearson, she's probably one of the more high profile, but her and Cindy Wilson were the two female singers, and they went back and forth a lot. Like it's I had to watch videos to kind of, oh, okay, that's her voice and that's her voice, like, and then Fred Schneider is, everybody knows his voice. He's kind of the lead singer, but
right.
really they're kind of a trio of lead singers.
the lead talker.
Yeah. And what's interesting is that Ricky Wilson was really the accomplished musician. He played the guitar, and so he's the original songwriter, the original, he was the good solid bass, because it wasn't Fred, it wasn't Kate, it was a little bit Cindy, right? But so that's what's kind of interesting about it, is there's a lot of personalities, but there's musicianship. And then Keith was the drummer originally.
Okay.
And he could play guitar and all that. And he was, and he and Ricky got to be friends. So Keith, Cindy, and Ricky are all from Athens, born and raised.
Yeah.
Fred and Kate are from New Jersey, but they didn't know each other. They came to go, so Fred came to go to school at Athens. Kate actually moved to outside of Athens with her husband at the time to be a hippie, live off the land, grow stuff, right?
Yeah.
And so this is incredible. So this has got to be mid-70s. They moved into a place that was fairly rustic, like it had an outhouse and stuff, but it was $15 a month for rent.
Cool.
So just wild. And then, so the story goes is that she just, made her way, started just hanging out with people. And they all just kind of happened to get to be friends with each other because they were hanging out with the same people. And Cindy was she's the youngest. And she was much younger. And when they signed and started touring, she was like maybe 17 or 18, like super young. But a lot of them, like Ricky and Keith, were older.
Okay.
And so they met, kind of hung out, kind of were playing, they just were playing instruments to hang out with each other and be artistic.
Right.
So they had a friend that said, "Hey, why don't you come and join or play for us, play for our house party?" And so they debuted at a Valentine's Day party in Athens in 1977. And then we're getting gigs around the South, and then they went to New York. When they kind of started to get a following, they actually went to New York and were playing like CBGB's and some of the other ones that were around, famous old New York clubs.
Yeah.
And their first album, so 77 House Party, first album released in 1979.
Wow.
Which is sort of meteoric, right?
Yeah, that's pretty fast.
Meteoric for somebody who didn't really care about being a band. So that wasn't their goal.
Yeah.
And while they were at CBGB's, even before they got an album, they had regular attendees of David Bowie, Frank Zappa, and John Lennon and Yoko Ono were at their shows. They were huge fans of them.
Wow.
What got John Lennon to be a fan is, and I'm going to tell the history of this song, because this song is significant, and it's also insane that it exists
Okay.
because because it is their defining song, and it's one of the first songs they ever wrote.
Okay.
So, which is
Yeah.
it's so significant and so out there, and legendary, and it was where they started.
Right. Okay.
So the first song I'll discuss, even though it's not the first song on the album, but it's got the most story to it, is Rock Lobster.
Mm.
So have you heard that song?
I've heard that song, yeah.
Okay, I think everybody's probably just everybody after 1980 just was born with that song immediately known.
I think it was also sampled in a Panic at the Disco song.
Oh, I wouldn't doubt it. So the interesting story of that song,
Okay.
is that Keith Strickland and Ricky Wilson were friends, and Ricky was really accomplished. He was a very good guitarist. He had all the instruments hanging out at his house, and so Keith would always go over there and hang out because they were like best friends. That they got really tight, and so Keith would go over there and goes, I was always over there playing guitar at his house, and I was always breaking strings. And I'd also never replace the strings, which I knew bugged Ricky.
Yeah.
But one time he was playing, and he broke the third string down. So he had the top, E and B, right?
Yeah, the highest ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
E and
A.
Yeah. So he had E and A, broke the next one, and then had the bottom three. So what he did, instead of replacing that string, is he kept the top two strings in normal tuning, in traditional tuning, and then he put the other three in an open tuning.
Okay.
And just said, hey, so just randomly broke it, didn't replace it, tuned it that way, said, hey, Ricky, play around with this. And he's like, dude, you're just trying to get out of fixing the guitar, you know? He's like, no, I've been hearing about it. Just try it. So Ricky Wilson plays around with the guitar and writes Rock Lobster that night. So when you listen to it, that's how it's played, is missing one string.
Wow.
With the opening tuning. So it sounds like two guitars.
Yeah.
Is how it sounds. But that's
cool.
how he played. He goes, I just came up with this really stupid riff. Is how he introduced it. It's dun 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 dun, dun, and plays that. And then so he had that riff, and then Fred had been at a club called the 2000 Club in Atlanta.
Okay.
And he says they were just putting these slides up on the wall of different things like this, and this, and then lobster on the barbecue. And so I'm like, oh, Rock Lobster, that's a good name for a song. Like,
yeah.
And so that's what it became. But also, they were huge already. Before any of this, they were huge Yoko Ono fans, which I think they might be, besides John Lennon, the only huge Yoko Ono fans that exist. I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah.
Huge. So all of the animal sounds that they make in Rock Lobster are basically an homage to Yoko Ono, who does all these weird sounds.
Yeah.
That's the intention. It was, we want to sound like Yoko Ono.
Yeah.
And just at least that part of it. And so it's just this crazy, crazy, crazy song that is endemic of who they are.
Yeah.
And it's also almost 7 minutes long.
Oh, geez. I don't know if I've ever heard the full one.
Yeah. So that's the thing about it. Like, it has verse, chorus, verse, bridge, verse, chorus, verse, bridge, verse, outro. So there's 7 verses.
Jeez. Yeah.
And it does so much that you just don't know that it does. Number 1, weird tuning.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, it's like the first song. They wrote one more before this, but this is like the first song they wrote.
Yeah.
And it's unkillable, right? It's just
Yeah.
weird name for it that doesn't make any sense, which that's the band. Tribute to Yoko Ono. It messes with gender roles because in
Mhm.
verse 6, it's boys in bikinis, girls with surfboards. Just all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then all these sounds. And if you look through the lyrics on everything,
Mm-hmm.
it's always this mix of weird sounds, like, and they put them all in here when I was getting the lyrics, but there's one song that the first, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So the first 12 lines of the lyrics are 2 lines of a bunch of and then a bunch of lines of ba da da, ba da ba da da, ba da da, and then
Right.
some more ahs, and just nonsense.
Yeah.
Is what, and it's written out like, and that's pretty there.
Yeah.
And then I'm just reading this other, I'll get back to this other song, but I'm just reading a lyric and I finally understood it after just now.
Okay.
Since I've, and I'm like, oh, that's even funnier and less offensive. I'll get to that, but
Yeah.
anyway, so, so it has all that, and it has on Rock Lobster, it has everybody contributing.
Mm-hmm.
Also, it has a part in it, the first bridge, where it says, it goes down, down, down. Oh no, maybe it's the second bridge, where it goes down, 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 but it keeps going down. It slows the song down and goes down, down. So in that part of the song, what you do is you go down, 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 you lay on the floor.
Yeah.
And then when the music starts playing, you go into a convulsive fit on the floor, which is called the worm.
Uh-huh.
And you dance all around crazy, and then you get back up and start dancing.
Nice.
Is how the dance goes.
Yeah.
And so we were talking about it, and she goes, and your mom goes, I think you're the first person I ever saw do that. And I said, yeah, because I moved up midway through high school to Tempe. And I said, yeah, I may have been the one that brought it to Tempe. I may have been the only one doing it in Tempe. Everybody was, all my friend group was doing it in Tucson, but we were way more punk, and they were way more top 40, let's say, in Tempe. Preppy, top 40, we were punk and grungy, dirty people. And so, but the punk part's the big part. And so I was, every dance, that was my favorite part, is if we get them to play Rock Lobster, I was down on the ground and then convulsing halfway through the song, and then then you jump up and dance.
Yeah.
So it's just fun, and they have dances that everybody that goes with them, and they are performative and all these things. So it's just interesting that that's where they started from.
Yeah.
I'll tell you a few of the things that tie in. So the name of the band is a nickname for the big bouffant hairdos that they would wear. So that's like a nickname, is the bouffant thing is the B. I would have said Beehive, but they call it a B-52.
Okay.
So it's not the bomber.
Not
it's
the plane.
The name of it's the name of the hairdo.
Okay.
Kate Pearson, later on in life, became the owner of 2 motels, trailer parks really, called Kate's Lazy Desert and Kate's Lazy Meadow. One of them is in California and one of them is in New York, like Catskills area.
Yeah, I think I knew about that one.
Yeah.
I didn't know she had another one.
Yeah, so she had 2. I thought she even owned the one in Bisbee, because there's one just like it in Bisbee. But I don't know. I thought she also owned that, but it doesn't say that she did. So they, which are these retro trailers that she outfitted with all the kitsch. And actually, it's all stuff that she personally, her and Fred would go out thrifting.
Oh, really?
So that's another tie-in, is from day one, before they were a band, they would wear weird clothes from going thrifting.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
they've been thrifting. Yeah. So way back. And even on the cover of the album, it's their picture, but it's also like hand painted in some of the, like, he
Some of
goes,
the
and
clothes
Fred's
there.
like, yeah, the clothes and stuff. And Fred's like, yeah, that suit I'm wearing is a seersucker suit, but it doesn't translate because it's painted over.
Yeah.
They thrifted. Yeah, he thrifted it.
Cool.
And so, and then also the Chrysler convertible is from a later big hit, Jump in My Love Shack,
Yeah.
where it's Jump in My Chrysler's, it's as big as a whale, right?
Right.
Then they did this album. They did their second album. They did the self-titled, and then they had really, what they talked about, they had written all the music, all the songs for the second album while they were doing the first.
Wow.
so
Yeah.
it's, so it's 79 and 80 was when the first two came out.
Nice.
The second album is more who they are, as far as a more complex. It features more of the complexity of who they are, and it's
Okay.
more the sound that they wanted.
Yeah.
And there's something on that album that's significant. They'll come up later, but and then they did one more album called Whammy. That was good too. But what happened after that is Ricky passed away from AIDS.
Oh.
And so that was really early on. And it was not a lot known about it. Rock Hudson had died the week before,
Wow.
who is
Yeah.
a famous. That was the first big. I remember when that happened, because that was the first big celebrity death that we all knew about, was Rock Hudson, and nobody knew he was gay, except for everybody did. So,
Right.
because he was a leading man through the 50s and 60s. So, it kind of ruined. I don't know. It ruined it for somebody. I didn't care, but I still think he was great. He's a fun actor. But he was one of the early ones. So that almost ended the band because they were sad. But what is interesting, so there is a big gap. So they came out with another one called Bouncing Off the Satellites, and there's a 3-year gap with that one. And there was a 3-year gap between Wild Planet and Whammy, but they're all still there. He passed away, and then they did 1986, and it's about 3 years between each album after this. But they did Bouncing Off the Satellites. They came back together. Good album, just wasn't promoted really well because they were still kind of didn't know if they wanted to tour.
Right.
But what happened was Keith went to guitar.
And the drummer. Or...
Yeah. And then I think they just got other musicians to fill in. And then I think both Kate and Cindy played some, and Fred all played some keyboards, things like that.
Yeah.
And then that Bouncing Off the Satellites didn't get promoted very well, but then they went back and they were kind of, I think Keith was really sad and had given up on things. And they all kind of got back together and said, we need to do this for therapy. And they wrote Cosmic Thing, which was as big, if not big, is their biggest album.
Yeah.
Is their biggest hits, their most successful. And then between that and the one called Good Stuff, Cindy took a hiatus to raise her family.
Okay. Yeah.
And then they came back and have done one more album in 2008 called Funplex, which they really enjoyed doing. So,
nice.
And then Keith has stopped touring entirely. And so have they've mostly stopped touring, the rest of them, but they did Fred and Kate and Cindy did tour for a long time. Just the trio of them with a lot of
Hmm.
backup, because Keith was done. He's like,
Yeah.
I'm done touring.
Yeah.
So, which is fine. The
Right.
interesting thing is that they've never fought. Like there's never been infighting
Oh,
ever.
yeah.
Nobody left because they were creative differences. They were mad at each other. They've always been friends, always been supportive of one another, always
Hmm.
just had a fine time and just did their thing and didn't make a
Yeah.
big deal about it. And all they
It's
want is to have music for people to dance to.
Yeah. That's what it sounds like. It doesn't sound like anybody would be mad
Right.
making this.
Right. Like, how could you be, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was the interesting and kind of their history and where the band went.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, it says Kate would do the keyboards to do the bass parts.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So, and then over here, yeah, it was mostly just, it says initially the group had little or no musical experience, but their campy stage image, walkie talkies, exaggerated wigs, go go boots, and thrift shop clothing, along with such oddly engaging songs as Private Idaho and Planet Claire, made them the talk of post punk scene.
Mm.
And then they got signed with Warner Brothers. Uh, so then I need to get a date on this, but album came out in 79. They were on Saturday Night Live in 1980.
Wow.
Yeah. And
Pretty
so they
good.
did Rock Lobster, which was a huge hit.
Hmm.
But then they did a song, and this one is the first one I kind of wanted to look at that's maybe less known, but has something that I just think is hilarious. But it's called Dance This Mess Around.
Okay.
So it starts off, and this one is worth watching. Like if you go find B-52s on Saturday Night Live and just watch Dance This Mess Around,
Uh-huh.
it's awesome because it's just wild. So it starts off with Cindy and she's doing this like very dramatic, it's kind of slow, melancholy thing about, she's like, remember when you held my hand, remember when you were my man. And
Mm.
so that's the first half of what she's singing, and all of a sudden she just starts screaming out like, just it's great screaming, but
Yeah.
she goes, she's like, think it over, it's like do do do, like real mellow, and then she just screamed, why don't you dance with me? Just like screaming it out, like think about, and then this is how I really feel, and
Yeah.
screaming it out. But the lyric, it's, why don't you dance with me? I'm not no Limburger. Like, I'm
Like,
not no stinky cheese. Yeah.
yeah. Right.
And then it goes, and then she's just chanting, just a Limburger, just a Limburger. And then it picks up. So that's like that section. And then it picks up
Yeah.
into a different, like the tune evolves into, and it kind of, she's like chanting that, and it kind of melts off, and it goes, and then Fred comes in and goes, dance this mess around, and then gets
Mhm.
into the rest of the song. It kind of follows that, but
Yeah.
and that it's him and Kate and Cindy, they're kind of flipping off different parts of this, kind of having this musical conversation,
Right.
because it says,
Yeah.
he goes, he's talking about the they they dance this mess around. Will they do all 16 dances? And
Hmm.
you're like, okay. And I love this song because there's no explanation. There's
Right.
just this. It expects you to understand that you're in this new world where there's 16 dances that everybody knows,
Yeah.
and then
Right.
it goes. Let's see. And then they name 8 of them, and that
Yeah.
is the thing I love the most.
Right.
Is that they talk about 16 dances, and then they only name 8 of them, and then they never apologize for it or explain it.
Right.
But
there's a song by Black Midi
okay.
called 27 Questions. And at one point he does start like going through all these questions, and then I think he only ends up doing like 23 questions. And then in the lyrics he's like, that's not quite 27, but anyways.
That's so good. I love this, and it's so good. And then they're doing the and he stops. Fred stops, goes, "Oh, it's time to do 'em right," in his talking voice. And he
Mhm.
goes, "Hey, hey." And then one of them, I think Kate, goes, "Say, don't that make you feel a lot better?" And he goes, "Huh?" He goes, "Say, don't that make you feel a lot better?" "What you say?" "Well, I'm just asking." Like this back and forth, and it's like it's just how they came up with that, just singing back and forth, and it never,
Yeah.
it just works. It's just them
Right.
having a musical conversation, and then the bridge is shake O, and then in parentheses bake, shake O bake,
Shake a
like
bake.
yeah. And
Yeah.
then the last let's see, and then they do another thing about the dances and the hippie shake, and then they say, "So Fred, that don't make you feel a lot better, huh?" He's just like this, and the way he says like, "Huh?" Say,
Yeah.
"Don't that make you feel a lot better?" And so what you say? "Well, I'm just asking." And it's hilarious, the back and forth. But then the outro is them just going, "Yeah, yeah, 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 yeah." Oh, and it
Right.
just does that. Shake a bake, shake it. It's just nonsense, really.
Hmm.
But it couldn't be any other way.
Right.
Like the reason the leap that I'm gonna make with this
Okay.
is that this song tells you kind of everything you need to know about the band in some ways,
Hmm.
because you just arrive at
Yeah.
this mix of all kinds of different songs, all kinds of different moods, very danceable, but also like you're caught in the middle of a conversation
Hmm.
and that you're overhearing. And they're not explaining anything or apologizing for it. They're just giving you a song that, it's not terribly deep,
Yeah.
obviously.
Sure.
They're not going for that. It's just fun.
Yeah.
And on just growing up listening to this, I've been listening to this since 82, 83, somewhere in there. So
Okay.
shortly after they came out.
Yeah.
I had the first two albums on a tape, like one on each side.
Yeah.
It was they came out with the first two albums on one tape, and I just played the heck out of that. But they were mentioning in the background, I watched some mini documentary
Hmm.
that as of today, only it's an unusual group for the time, because really Cindy's the only one in the band that's heterosexual. Like
Oh, yeah.
yeah. And Kate was, but she just got married a while ago to a lady.
Hmm.
Um and Ricky died of AIDS. Keith is also, anyway. And what, like I didn't already know,
Hmm.
it's not surprising to
Yeah.
me. There's a song on the second album called Quiche Lorraine that
Okay.
is very stereotypical older gay couple in Scottsdale
Oh,
walking their
really?
little French poodle, right?
Okay.
Because it's
Right.
it's Quiche the poodle is her name.
Oh.
It goes, Quiche the poodle is her name, and having a fun time on a gray day is her game, or something like
Uh-huh.
that. And it's just yelling at his dog because his dog ran away.
Oh.
But it's
Yeah.
the thing about it is it's Fred singing it,
Hmm.
and when it's describing Quiche, it's it's he goes down here and he goes, has anybody seen a dog dyed dark green, about 2 inches tall, with a strawberry blonde fall, sunglasses and a bonnet, and designer jeans with appliques on it? I'm like, like I ever questioned
Yeah.
at least Fred,
Yeah.
what his preferences were.
Mm.
And then
Right.
as I'm reading through, it says Fred came out in 2010,
Wow.
which
It's
like officially.
mhm.
But the thing of it is that they weren't trying to make it a like you should like us because of our support of alternative lifestyles.
Mhm.
You should like us because we want you to come dance and we don't care who you are.
Yeah.
And so I think they made a bigger statement by doing it that way. And that's why I think Dance This Mess Around
Mhm.
is it's just fun, it's just weird, it just invites everybody. It doesn't explain itself. It doesn't try and make an excuse for what they're doing. It just does it. And
Yeah.
you either like it or you don't. And you just go. There's no statements except for it's a huge statement.
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot of weight to the fact that they didn't make a big deal out of it and just
Mhm.
existed and just were happy and just enjoyed life. And I think that is the most heartwarming thing about the whole group
Yeah.
is that they were happy
Right.
and they didn't care if you didn't like them. They weren't doing it to be liked. They were doing it to make the people happy that did like it.
Yeah.
And they were doing what they were doing and they weren't trying to make excuses for it. And they were just like, uh, I think that makes a bigger statement that, yes, I have different beliefs and preferences than you, and I'm still happy.
Mhm.
You know, I'm
Right.
not miserable because you think this is wrong.
Yeah.
And I think that's really frustrating to people who want to make a big deal out of other people's beliefs.
Mhm.
They get really frustrated if you don't match their energy.
Yeah.
And so I that's what I appreciate about them.
Yeah.
So, but I'll just give you some highlights of what this first album was like.
Mhm.
And they did start off with a known tune, kind of a tribute to Peter Gunn, which was it's a, it was in a, like a cop show, but it's
Oh.
that dun 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 dun.
Oh.
It's a
Yeah.
very famous, but that's how the first song is called Planet Claire. And there's not a
Yeah.
lot to it. It's a 4.5 minute song. And I don't think the singing, there's one verse and a bridge. There's a
Mhm.
lot of oohs and ahs and ba-da-das at the beginning, but it
Right.
doesn't get to any vocals until probably more than halfway through.
Yeah.
And then it's just, she came from Planet Claire. I know she came from there. She drove a Plymouth satellite faster than the speed of light.
That's it.
And that's, I mean, it's just, and there's some other lyrics, but it's just like this sci-fi party song,
Yeah.
and it's hilarious.
I've always liked songs that are, it doesn't happen so much anymore where there's songs that take a long time for the singer to come in.
Yeah.
The other one I think about is Push
Yeah.
by The Cure. Takes forever for him to come in, and then he doesn't sing that much,
That's
but it's
what I
still
was
a really great
noticing.
song.
Yeah, I was listening to Push a lot one time, and I was noticing that The Cure does that more than most. They
Mhm.
play a lot of the song, and a lot of the music happens before they start singing.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's a lot
Yeah.
earlier, but there's still tons of their songs that's a lot of music
Mhm.
before any singing starts. And I
Yeah.
love it. And Push is long.
It is.
I'm trying to think of anybody else that really does that so much or rely. I almost think, does anybody rely on their music?
Yeah.
You know,
It's
I
kinda
guess I guess there's a lot of electronic music that
Mhm.
has, they'll get into musical breaks and let the music flow for quite a while. And
Yeah.
so that's and it's meant for dancing and yeah, EDM stuff is like that. I mean, it has the big build up
Mhm.
and maybe not tons of lyrics, maybe samples of people that sound like they're doing lyrics sometimes,
Right. Yeah.
Um, So I think that fits definitely for a band like this to rely so much on the music when they're not really heavy musicians is awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
uh,
It's kind of interesting because like it feels like I'm kind of switching between like it's hard to find like what's the maybe that sounds worse, like what's the interesting part, because like
yeah,
the lyrics are fun, but then you go into them and they're not really saying anything, but like and so that makes you think like, oh, if the lyrics are like what you're supposed to be paying attention to, maybe the music isn't really anything. But then you look at the
right,
music and it's like really good music for
right,
for being like dance music.
right.
Yeah, it's kind of like a confusing band in that way.
It is, and the fact that they could make it keep working,
Yeah.
because Cosmic Thing is 5 albums in, and it's as good or better than the first album, and the first album's perfect.
Yeah.
And the
Like
second album's perfect.
I would have thought Love Shack was on the first album.
Yeah, exactly. It's well into their career. It's it's
Like a decade.
10 years.
Yeah.
It's a decade later. So if you think about it, that is more than the entirety of the Beatles' career.
Right.
Because they were 64
Crazy.
to 70.
Yeah. It's wild.
Now, there's more Beatles songs than theirs, but still, it's just, it's crazy.
Yeah.
So Planet Claire, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Next one's 52 Girls.
Okay.
I think this must be the key. This is the secret to the whole thing. Of the 16 dances, they name 8.
Mm-hmm.
Of the 52 girls, they name 26. We'll go halfway. We'll go halfway. We can think of about half of them, but that's really all that song is naming girls, like female names.
Mm-hmm.
And then the chorus is, can you name them today? And then at the end of the verse, it's these are the girls of the USA, the principal girls of the USA. You're like, and that's like, why is this a song? And it's great. It's a great song. It's also great. And then they go to Dance This Mess Around. It's also great. And then Rock Lobster.
Mm-hmm.
And it's insane. And it's 6 minutes and 49 seconds.
Right.
And it doesn't drag. It doesn't, and just that beat, that dun 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 dun, dun is just great. You would think of it. You would have thought that it existed always, like, because they started with the Peter Gunn, and it's very Peter Gunn, but its own thing. It's that same kind of feel. And then there's one that's almost 5 minutes long called Lava.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see, my favorite lyric is it starts off like, my body's burning like a lava from a Mauna Loa. My heart is cracking like a Krakatoa. So they're naming different volcanoes,
right?
And they're lava. And he says, "Turn on your love lava, turn on your lava light," things like that. So it's just kind of this weird mix, and it's just all kinds of just spoofs on different lava themes and hot liquid.
Yeah. Cool.
Like it says, my love's a lava bomb, knock you in the head, kick you in the head. And you're like, okay. And then and then Fred starts going, and this is very like, he starts his very big voice, like he's his very commanding version of his voice. He's like, I'm gonna let it go, let it flow like Pompeii or Herculaneum. Like, please no. But it's just, and it's just fun, it's and then at the end, I think Kate or Cindy goes, oh no, he goes, I'm gonna jump in a crater, and they say, see you later. It's just like
Yeah.
weird rhyming responses that don't mean anything, and that's fun. Um, then there's the next song is "There's a Moon in the Sky" called "The Moon," and
That's
and
great.
this one is again, they're just it's just stuff that sounds good, but
Right.
he
Yeah.
goes, the first verse is "There's a moon in the sky, it's called the moon, and everybody is there, including," and he goes, "Saturn, Mercury, Saturn, Venus, Saturn, Mars, Saturn." And they're
That's
just
it.
naming other
Yeah.
Jupiter. Yeah. Um, and then there's just like this call and response throughout this nuts.
Yeah.
And that's all. And that the Van Allen belt they keep
Oh,
mentioning.
yeah.
It's Van Allen. Don't know why I can't say it. The Allen radiation belts are two donut-shaped high-energy particle zones trapped by Earth's magnetic field, comprising an inner belt of protons and an outer belt of electrons.
Hmm.
So it's saying that back and forth, Saturn, Jupiter, and then it stops. The Van Allen belt, like they chant that together, and
Yeah.
like
Weird.
it doesn't make any sense. And it just keeps going. It mentions it again somewhere, but it's just like, okay. But
Yeah.
it says many gamma rays around it. Van Allen belt surrounds it. Okay. So it's just, and that one is 5 minutes long.
Hmm.
Then there's one
Crazy.
called Hero Worship.
Okay.
And it's just this like a idolized, and it kind of says, "I hero worship, he deserves it, I preserve it." And it's just all this hero worship stuff, and I want to see, I want to just all these kind of images of devotion to this hero, kind of pop star or movie star, whatever. It's just
Yeah.
about hero worship. It's straightforward. It's still fun. It's
Hmm.
kind of nuts that way. And then we go to a funny song. It's called 6060842.
Okay.
So that old 8675309. That's
Right.
Eddie. It's like that.
Okay.
It's this because it's written. It's a phone number written backwards because it's
Hmm.
four digits and three digits. But it's this call. It's they start off and they're just chanting 6060842, and then it talks the first verse, and it's kind of a story. It's like, it says, Tina went to the ladies' room, saw written on the wall, "If you'd like a very nice time, just give this number a call." It was 6060842, and I'm waiting for you. 606.
Yeah.
And so it goes, Tina reached into her pocketbook, pulled out a thin dime, drop it in the phone slot, praying she get the line. It just keeps chanting that. And and then at the end it says your number has been disconnected, and they just repeat that. And then at the
Yeah.
outro, it's like, "Hello, I'm sorry." And it's like, sounds like back in the day, and you guys don't get this anymore, but on the telephone, like if you left it, because it has all kinds of telephone sounds in here, but they're old,
Hmm.
my era.
Yeah.
So if you leave the phone off the hook, it starts going me, like you're
Right.
supposed to. And then it also does these crackling pre-recorded, like wrong, the number that you've dialed can't be reached, and
Hmm.
it'll just play that recording to you, but it's always like crackly and weird. So there's a lot of crackly, like
Like sound.
said through a megaphone type of thing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So it sounds like hollow and muffled and pre-recorded, and all those kind of things down there are throughout it, and of the phone telling them it's the wrong number,
Hmm.
and then the number's been disconnected, and all these things, and it's just
Yeah.
it's a fun playing around. It stays on theme, which is unusual.
Yeah.
It has the theme and stays with it, which doesn't ever happen, but it happened to this.
Yeah.
And then they do a cover song, which is called Downtown, which was by Petula Clark in the 60s.
Okay.
And I read somewhere that Cindy sings this, or Kate can't remember. Cindy, I think, sings it and made up a lot of the lyrics.
Oh, okay.
Even though there's lyrics for the song, like there is a
Yeah.
real song and there's real lyrics and they played the real tune, but then she just made up some extra different lyrics,
Yeah.
which
Fun.
makes it even better.
Yeah. That's really cool.
And it's great. It's funny. It's not, but it's a cover song. So,
Mm-hmm.
and that's how they end the album. But and it's hard to carve out this over the next album because the next album has just as far as titles has some crazy ones too that are uh, like Private Idaho and Quiche Lorraine.
Right.
One called 53 Miles West of Venus, which that's the whole of the lyrics is
That's it.
them chanting 53 miles west of Venus, and it's almost 5 minutes long. That's the longest song in the album, and that's the whole lyric is what's in the title.
Mm-hmm.
It has Party Out of Bounds, which is great. It's because it has sounds of a it tells the whole story of a party that got out of control. And so
Oh.
there's all these sound effects of like windows smashing and bottles thrown against the wall
Oh, funny.
and you know, it just got too out of control. The party's going out of bounds and trying to get him out of there. And then there's Give Me Back My Man, which is great. But Private Idaho,
Mhm.
there's a Keanu Reeves somebody else movie called My Own Private Idaho, which I think
Okay.
they lifted it from here and it has its own meaning. And then Strobe Light, which is the lyric is
Oh, cool.
I want to make love to you under a strobe light. And that's their
Yeah.
which is hilarious.
Yeah.
And the lyrics are just funny. But Quiche Lorraine's probably has been one of my favorites for a long time because it's just such, and it's a lot of storytelling and good music, and it's brilliant and good driving beats that are just really good. But they had most of this written when they were recording the last one. It's amazing what they put together. So
It's really cool.
anyway,
I was looking. I haven't heard the song, the Private Idaho, but I was wondering if it was like a Dune reference. Duncan, Idaho.
I wonder.
I don't know if he's really a private, but it looks like it's just about Idaho.
Yeah. What does it say? It's like running around like a wild potato. You're living in your own private Idaho, walking around like a wild potato.
Mm.
And then it says, "Don't get off the patio." Like, okay. It says, no, that's it gives the meaning to My Own Private Idaho, which is the movie, but it doesn't give what's the meaning of the song Private Idaho. I don't think it has. It can't.
Probably not.
Nothing's that deep, right? It just sounds right. And so this also reminds me of, and maybe this plays into it, but another one of my favorite bands at the time was New Order.
Mm-hmm.
And their song lyrics sound like they mean something.
Right.
And again, I've heard interviews that say, we write lyrics that sound good with the music. That's it.
Yeah.
They don't mean anything. And which is funny because Joy Division was so heavy.
Right.
And so kind of meant depression. That's what Joy Division, I mean, that's kind of like they had a meaning and all of the songs contributed to this dark feeling. And then New Order came around and they just had fun.
Yeah.
But did a lot of landmark stuff too. They did a lot of crazy stuff with computer music and stuff. And we've talked about that before, but
did you see there's like some British politician who got in some hot water because he wore a Joy Division shirt?
Oh, really? Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, come on.
Like some lady in the party was like, that's a reference to like a Nazi concentration camp.
Oh, yeah.
Where they they kept people in a Joy Division, which is probably where they got the
Yeah.
name. But it's like, obviously, it's the band. It
Yeah.
has
I
the album cover on it and everything.
right, right. Well, that's what I love about punk rock and probably also Primus. Like
Yeah.
Primus's slogan is Primus sucks.
Right.
And most punk bands pick the most offensively awful name for their band.
Mm-hmm.
and 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 you're like, that just says that you're horrible, but then the music's, it's like it's giving the middle finger to the man.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
that's what which is punk music. So but just overall, just to go back to it, when John Lennon heard their first album, that's when he went back. He actually said out loud, he goes, "That sounds like Yoko. I need to get back into the studio." And
Mhm.
that's when because he was done. He was done.
Yeah.
It thought music was going nowhere, and they inspired him to go back to the studio. So pretty great.
Pretty great. Yeah.
And then the last time they did there was a live action Flintstones movie, and
Oh, okay.
they did the theme song. They
Oh, fun.
I mean, it was already the Flintstones, but
They did like
they sang it, and
gotcha. Yeah.
they were in the movie
Oh,
playing
really?
it.
Oh,
Yeah,
fun.
because they had a cameo, but it's let's
Mhm.
see. Let me do this. So in the movie The Flintstones, they were and they were performing it, and they were
Mhm.
billed as the B-52s.
Cool.
So
That's fun.
I guess they were on the soundtracks for the Rugrats movie,
Okay.
and Fred Schneider sang the theme song for Rocco's Modern Life.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
I think that's more your era, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
And then I always thought that the whole B-52s group was on the REM song "Shiny Happy People,"
Oh, yeah.
but it's just Kate. Kate
Kate.
she's the only one on it. But they paved the way. REM got their career quicker, let's say. I think they still might have made it, but they got their career quicker because of the success of the B-52s. And they knew them, and they loved them.
Yeah.
And so it's just a neat collective, and it's a weird place for things to come out of. And there's like it's a weird place that inspired these great bands. Here they are. It's 3 bands. And one of them nobody knows. I'm sure somebody does, but I don't know them. And and then it's the B-52s and REM. So 2 massive bands, and then
Yeah.
so
And then a band.
then another one. So
Yeah.
anyway, I wanted to bring all of this because it's meant a lot to me. Like, I really feel something for their music. That
Mhm.
I think my favorite song that always makes me feel good is Love Shack.
Yeah.
Like, it never doesn't work.
Yeah.
And
Right.
and well, there's a line in it called where they're driving down the Atlanta highway, and the
Mhm.
video is shot obviously somewhere in rural Georgia. And
Right.
after living in South Carolina, and then going back and watching the video and then listening to the lyrics, you're like, it it's almost like when I listened to The Devil Went Down to Georgia and got all teary-eyed.
Yeah.
It meant something more
Right.
to see the Love Shack, and so it's just it's been great, and
Yeah.
I'm happy for them. I'm happy that it all worked out. They're just fun, and it's
Yeah.
sometimes fun to just be fun.
That's cool. Yeah, I know I haven't gone like super deep into their catalog, but everything I've heard from them I've really liked. And
Yeah. I think if you set with the first 2 albums and just listen to those, you might get addicted.
Yeah.
because they're just so, each song is its own thing
Uh-huh.
and is wildly entertaining. And then there's another one after it that's its own thing and is wildly entertaining. And so
Yeah.
it just doesn't let up. Those first two albums, I think, are absolute masterpieces that just don't ever let off
Yeah.
being great.
Yeah.
So
I was thinking more about it,
anyway,
and I think
encourage you.
yeah. I was thinking more about it, and I think it's kind of maybe appropriate that I mentioned Black Midi, because I feel like Black Midi is
Okay.
kind of like the extreme version of
Yeah.
B-52s, where it's just like really wild music and a lot of lyrics that don't really mean anything but are pretty fun. Like they have songs that are just about like a wrestling match, or their first big one was the Boom 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 song.
Oh,
And the
yeah.
lyrics are just like, she walked with a purpose. What a magnificent purpose. And just him saying that a bunch of times over and over and over.
I think this might be one of the bands that Brent made friends with here. I think this
Mhm.
might be one he's recommended.
They're wild. They're a lot of
Yeah.
fun.
They're pretty recent.
Yeah,
I mean-
2019 is when their first album came out.
Yeah.
They're
That
not
looks
around
like it.
anymore.
Oh,
They've all kind of gone their own ways, but their singer has a crazy voice where he's just kind of doing that talk singing thing.
okay.
But he has his own solo album that came out last year, I think, that is amazing too.
Okay. And what's his name?
Jordy Greep.
Is that what the solo album's under? Is his?
Yeah,
Okay.
just under. It's a lot of fun.
All right. Well, this will help. I'm trying to mess up my wrap up on Spotify.
Nice.
And so I think what's funny is that when they were doing I had Spotify do the like virtual DJ. Have you ever had it do that?
I haven't.
It's funny because it's fun, but there's a guy going they have a voice talking and saying,
Mhm.
"Hey, I'm going to be your DJ," and he'll cut in and say stuff and you're like
Yeah.
But what's interesting is that when I had it playing at the time, it kind of goes through what you've listened to the most, and
Mhm.
Boy Genius was the top.
Yeah.
Strong Enough.
Right.
I'd obviously listened to that quite a bit. So
Yeah.
but I keep trying to add to it. That'll be good.
That'll be good.
I appreciate the different music and what it inspires and where it comes from.
Yeah.
Just it's great band and meant a lot to me and got your mom to notice me.
That's good.
I think other things did too, but definitely the guy convulsing on the ground in the middle of the dance probably made an impression.
Yeah.
So good stuff and enjoy listening to it. So enjoy it.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
I will.
Dive
Sounds
into
good.
it. But well, you've been listening to Like Pigs in Space, an arts and culture podcast. I'm Aaron Mason,
And I'm Max Mason.
and thanks for listening.
Bye.